All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a whole new way to look at AI adoption for creative teams. We're going to move past just counting clicks and logins and start measuring the actual things your team creates. It's a huge shift from focusing on just being busy to focusing on actual impact. You've been here, right? Some senior leader, fresh from reading an article about AI, walks over and asks this exact question. And that little knot in your stomach? That's you knowing that your usual answers, prompts per week or tool logins, they just aren't going to cut it anymore. And that right there is the core of the problem. When it comes to the kind of creative, qualitative work that product managers and designers do, the easiest things to count are almost always the least meaningful. They don't actually tell you if you're building better products. I mean, look at this. This slide lays out the trap perfectly. On the left, you've got all the vanity metrics. Yeah, they're easy to put on a dashboard, but they tell you absolutely nothing about quality. On the right, that's the stuff we actually care about. Real innovation, better ideas, actual strategic insights. The big question is, how in the world do we measure the stuff on the right? So, the first attempt at a framework, it fell right into this trap, big time. It was all about process. It basically asked an already swamped team to do more admin work, more tagging, more logging. It was just creating noise, not value. And it got obsessed with time saved, completely missing that most of us just reinvest that time to make our work better, not to clock out early. It was a total dead end. And this was the light bulb moment, the critical pivot. The question changed from a top-down, what can I measure, to a collaborative, what conversations do we want to be having? It's the difference between being a hall monitor asking about minutes saved and being a real strategic partner asking how AI can help us create fundamentally better work. Seriously, this insight changed everything. So that new conversation led to a brand new framework, one that's built around tangible things you can actually see and touch, specific, valuable artifacts that prove AI is being used to make a real difference. Instead of a messy, complicated system, the V2 plan simplified everything down to one single North Star metric. It's super clear, it's trackable, and it focuses completely on the outcome, not the activity. The question is simple. What percentage of our projects are producing these 4 key AI-built artifacts? The thinking behind this is something called the professor's homework analogy. Think about it this way. The goal isn't just to get an assignment done. It's to create work that's so good, so valuable, that it can be shared with the whole class, making everyone smarter in the process. Okay, so let's dig into what these 4 artifacts actually are. First up, we have the external brain. Just think of this as a central AI-powered research hub for any project you're working on. The value here is, well, it's immense. Instead of a PM manually sifting through 20 different interview transcripts, you can just ask it a question like, hey, what are the top 3 frustrations our users in Germany have with the checkout flow? It literally becomes a strategic partner, finding deep insights at a scale that we humans just can't manage. Next up is artifact number 2, the personal assistant. This is a custom-built AI, like a custom GPT you'd make yourself, that's designed to solve one very specific, tedious task for your project. This one is all about freeing up your team's mental energy. It automates all that tedious, busy work. For example, it can take a messy, rambling transcript from a call and instantly turn it into perfectly formatted meeting minutes. Or it can generate user stories from a bunch of raw notes. It unlocks your team to focus on the hard, creative problems that really matter. Okay, artifact number 3 is the AI Sketchpad. This is basically an AI-generated prototype that lets you quickly visualize and test out ideas, especially those really abstract concepts that are tough to explain with just words. This is just a massive creative accelerant. Instead of a designer spending an entire day mocking up one single concept, they can prompt an AI. Show me 5 different dashboard layouts for a mobile app that focus on user engagement. And boom, they get visual concepts back in minutes. It helps the whole team avoid falling in love with the very first idea, which almost always leads to better, more thought-out solutions. And last but not least, artifact number 4, the AI Copilot. This is about creating a key deliverable, like a big competitive analysis, in a deep, collaborative partnership with an AI tool. So here, you let the AI do all the heavy lifting. A PM might spend a week manually researching 10 competitors. The AI can summarize all their features, their pricing, their user reviews in maybe an hour. This lets your PMs and designers stop being data collectors and start being true strategists. They can focus on the so what and find the real strategic opportunities. But here's the thing. A metric on its own is just a compass. It can point you in the right direction, but it can't power the ship. You can't just announce this new framework and expect everyone to get on board. The real magic is the human support system you build around it. And that engine is a three-part system. First, you actually shadow people to see where they're really struggling. Second, you find those AI enthusiasts on your team and make them power users who can help their peers. And third, you make a 30-minute promise of direct, one-on-one help. It turns the metric from a threat into a genuine offer of partnership. This really is the key to making any new process stick, isn't it? Your metric shows you where you're going, but it's the human support system, the shadowing, the power users, the promise of help. That's what actually provides the fuel to get you there. So what can you, as a leader, take away from all this? How can you apply it to your own team right now? Let's distill this all down into a clear, actionable playbook. Okay, here's your playbook. First, design your metric around the conversations you actually want to be having. Start with one simple metric and bake it into your existing routines. Treat this whole initiative like you would a product. Get that executive sponsorship you need. And most importantly, build that human support system around your metric. And looking ahead, this framework is really just a stepping stone. The first goal is to be AI first. That means using AI to make your current processes better. But the ultimate goal is to become AI native, where AI helps you totally reinvent the processes themselves. The difference is huge. An AI first PM uses AI to build a slide deck to ask for permission. An AI native PM uses AI to build the actual feature and then presents the results. And that really leaves us with the big question to think about. This isn't just about adoption rates or login stats. It's about a fundamental transformation. So ask yourself, is your team just using AI, or are you truly preparing them to think, to build, and to operate in a future that is going to be completely AI native?